Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lifeline for Linear. Whether you're just now joining us or have been here since the very start of the day, we are extremely happy to have you here with us. We may be starting the very last run of the evening, but is most definitely not the least. GretaIceVixen is here with Pokemon Shield, the winner of the bid war, the Tower of Two Fists, get Urshifu. Greta, let's get that Pokemon!
All right, hello everyone. Hopefully we are here. It's great to be here. It's a little late, but hello. I am GretaIceVixen. My name is Greta, and like we said, we're playing Shield tonight. So this is not Shield. This is my clock, because we're gonna do some spicy stuff here with some timing things. But we're gonna head on into Shield here. Let's go into this file. And I will get it going because we're now on a countdown race against my Switch clock, and then we'll talk some more. Let's get on in here. Alrighty, and let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty,
Good
so
luck.
we're here now. I'm joined by some commentators. If the two of you would like to introduce yourselves.
Sure. Hi, my name is Dynam. I speedrun mostly Pokemon games. I've done this run along with other Sword Shield runs.
And I'm nickpixels. I'm I guess the comic relief. Not just kidding.
Nah.
I'm just here to provide whatever I can. I don't speedrun this game, but I do love these games. I genuinely love Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I think this run is fun. It's on the shorter end of Sword and Shield runs, so but that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of technicalities or a good display of skill.
Yeah, the good news for us is that this category does not beat the game. If it did, we'd be here until like 5 in the morning. So
the night is still young.
Yeah, the any percents version of this game is roughly like a little over 4 hours to go from beginning to being the champion. But we're not going to do pretty much any of that in this category.
If you're wondering what this category is, you're like, what in the world is Tower of Two Fists, Get Urshifu? Those are a lot of words. We're basically doing a speedrun of the first part of the DLC that came out for this game. So this was the first mainline Pokemon game to actually get DLC instead of like a third version or upgraded version or whatever. So we are going to be going off to the Isle of Armor, and we're gonna do something very fun. We're gonna get Urshifu, who is a legendary Pokemon. We're basically just gonna go through the storyline in the Isle of Armor. We're gonna go to the Battling Dojo, where we'll become a stronger trainer, and we will face 3 trials to see who will earn the secret armor of the Isle of Armor, which is Kubfu. And Kubfu's just a silly little guy, basically. Yeah. If you don't want to be spoiled, I guess you're out of luck.
I mean, you're not gonna get spoiled in the main game, if you can't afford the DLC
true.
or.
Yeah, we're gonna play like the first half hour-ish, not even, maybe 25 minutes of the game, and then we're gonna go off on our own little adventure. We don't care about the main story. We're leaving.
Now we have other priorities. Forget about becoming the champion, preventing the final day.
Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got a tower to climb.
It's true.
We have a bear to befriend.
That's also true.
Options real quick.
Went back to the top for no apparent reason. There we go.
I love options menu. It's so fun.
It's everyone's worst nightmare. You're you just sat through that like 2-minute long cutscene. You make it through, you do your options menu, and it's the worst menu in the history of all menus. And you're like, man, I can't go through with this. I need to start over.
Look, you didn't miss the skip movies, which is the most important option.
Yeah, so in that
even
menu,
though that option is half alike, because you don't skip all movies, you just skip some movies.
We still have plenty of cutscenes to watch, but yeah, in that menu, we just do basically standard Pokemon stuff, you know, make our text go faster, turn off animations, which, you know, in some other games you can't even do anymore, so anyways. And turn on skip movies, which lets us skip, I think it's just 1, maybe 2 in this run that we skip, but they're like the big cinematic, like multi-minute long cutscenes, so it's good we don't have to watch those.
This game lets you skip movies, turn off battle animations, and it has Wooloo. Best Pokemon Switch game, no contest.
What more could you want?
Exactly, what more do you need? Guess we can talk about the plot. This is Hop, our rival. We're supposed to be, you know, starting our journey together and all that jazz. However, again, we have other things in mind. We are just getting the beginning of the game out of the way before
we're gonna abandon him.
Yeah, enjoy the Hop cameo in this run while it lasts.
Reduced to a cameo. Brutal.
But yeah, the beginning of this game is something I've done approximately 1 billion times. So really, there's nothing happening right now. Okay, so, but there is something happening. I hear, allegedly, over on the bid incentive page, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, we opened up another bid war for this run to name the Cubfu. Chat, you get to choose. With your donations, you get to choose what we will name the Cubfu in this run. I believe in all of your creative abilities to come up with the cutest possible names for Cubfu. I want to see them. Let me know what you want to name the little guy. And speaking of little guys, we also have a donation from Yogcavi, $5, that says there are many special guys coming soon in the form of several Wooloo in the beginning of Sword and Shield. They are perfect fellows, and I definitely agree. I love a little fluffy guy. They're so huggable.
I agree.
Very true. Very true.
Thank you, Izzy.
Truth nuke, as some might say.
Alrighty, a thing is happening. But yes,
Hey,
definitely.
Greta, what Pokemon are you gonna pick?
Well, hope I clicked the correct one. There we go.
Easy.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah,
Or
the character limit for the nickname is 12 characters. But yeah, definitely send in your nicknames for the certified little guy. I'm very interested to see what you can come up with, so. But yeah, a thing happened. We just picked our starter, which actually is relevant, because we are going to switch to using Cubfu, but not for a while. So instead, for now, we're going to be using Sobble. Sobble in particular is just the best for like 99% of speedruns of this game. In our case, once we get to the Isle of Armor, there is actually a very strong TR move that we can pick up in order to teach it to Sobble. It's a water type move, and the other starters don't get that. So we get to the Isle of Armor and we're pretty much immediately equipped with a really strong move. So that definitely helps it out a lot. The other starters just aren't as good and can't really compete.
Yeah.
Water type's
so-
always just consistently so good across the entire series. It's funny.
This is very true. Score Bunny does get used in the any percent version with a particular route using a Whimsicott known as Candy Floss. And then Grookey does get some use for the other DLC category called Get to Calyrex, which takes place mostly in the Crown Tundra. But for this category, Sobble is just a little guy hanging out.
So right now, for one, I just got crit. That's 2.5 seconds of time lost every single time I get crit. I also have to look at my stats here. Okay. It's looking like my speed is not going to be good enough. So the deal here is we're looking at my special attack, and because we're on shield, we're looking at my speed as well. If I was playing sword, we would only care about my special attack, but because of the version difference between the rival that we're going to face in the Eye of Armor, our speed actually matters if you want to be safe in the run. So, yeah, that was not good enough, but that's fine because I'm prepared. But yeah, so our special attack is good enough. At level 6, we want it to be 14 or higher. But for a shield, at level 7, we want our speed to be 16 or higher. And ours is certainly not 16. But I'm prepared for that because it's definitely not guaranteed, even close to guaranteed, that you'll get both of those stats that you need. So I have prepared a backup. And it's a good thing, because that's not the only RNG we have to worry about in this run.
Oh no.
You'll be
Oh,
seeing
no.
it. This is a very RNG heavy run, and if you don't get what you need to get, the run can't happen. So that's why we have a backup.
The run can't happen.
Chat,
It
what's
never
your
It
chat? What
never
are your thoughts on candy? How large do you like your candies to be?
I love candy.
Candy, is it the confectionery or the dog? Your dog.
That dog. All of
The one and
above.
only.
If you're wondering why Greta is running into wild Pokemon, these are scripted encounters. Amazing. Congratulations on a nerf skip. You just saved like 5 seconds right there.
It's not 5 seconds.
It feels like 5 seconds.
It feels like 5 seconds.
So right there, the Ripidie, sometimes it has an ability that will pop up on the screen, and sometimes it doesn't, and then you're happy because you saved like 3 seconds.
We're rounding up to 5. Don't worry about it.
It's probably not even 3. Yeah, as you can imagine, in our hour-and-a-half long speedrun, those 3 seconds, they can really make a difference.
They matter. Every second matters.
Alright. At this point in the game, you get to see, for the first time and only time in this run, the box legendary. So this is part of what you paid for. You wanted shield, you wanted the shield dog, here it is.
Where are the Zamacenta fans?
It doesn't have the shield on it yet, but like, imagine that it does.
Wait. Time for the sickest battle theme in the entire game.
It is good.
And we only get to listen to like 12 seconds of it? Yeah.
Yeah, this is also scripted. We just sit here and use pound forever until we die. But we don't actually die. But like, you know. We get enveloped in a strange mist.
Yeah, we gotta watch Zamacenta cast and fog, you know, the opposite of defog. I can't see anything.
You predicted that
wait.
one.
They actually unintentional bit. I did not know they actually said that.
I think it's kind of cool that the UI also gets fogged up in battle, aside from the dialogue.
The song actually getting like muffled. I don't know if that's the correct
Yeah.
term, but that's also like so.
It is cool.
Anyway,
Sword and Shield
Eyes
are,
Out
like,
Santa.
A very like
Vibrant.
comfy set of games to play late at night, honestly.
Yeah. We're
Hell yeah.
here for chill vibes, good cause, Pokemon. All
I
those things.
I will say, I know I did that jab of like, oh, this is the best Pokemon game on the Switch or whatever, which was not serious, by the way. But I will admit, this is far and beyond my most replayed Switch Pokemon game, just because it's, I don't know, it's like Dynam said, this game's so comfy. There's just something about it that I can keep coming back to it. I don't know what it is. I guess, I mean, I could say that it's like the more traditional out of all the options you have on the Switch.
It is, yeah.
BDSP is not a real game. Because, like, you know, Scarlet and Violet is Scarlet and Violet, which is something completely different, and Let's Go is also something completely unique. And Sword and Shield is, you know, your average experience, and sometimes you just want that average experience.
Alrighty. Time for gameplay to occur. Ooh, perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Alright,
very
so-
nice.
On Route 1 here, we always want to catch something. A very big reason being level 5. Okay, cool. Being that this will let you skip the catching tutorial in a little bit, where Leon is going to teach us how to catch stuff. We're professionals. We already caught something. We don't need to hear it from him. But as well, this gives us more experience, which means, you know, we're gonna get through fights faster because we're higher level, and we also have stronger attacks. Basically, ooh, hello, another friend.
We
Let's
love
see
friendship.
here.
Love friends.
So Wooloo gives us the most experience, so you really, really love to see it. Let's do this.
Nice, it's level 4.
And the reason here why normally, like, you would just catch one thing and be on your way, but for this run, our experience is actually very, very important. This is perfect, actually.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything else for the rest of the section in terms of catching.
Yeah, so our experience is very important because we want to get up to level 11 by the time we are like heading to the wild area, basically, which is not far away. It's in like 10 minutes. Reason being, for this run, in order to be able to go to the Isle of Armor, we are going to need to first capture a Galarian Slowpoke that is in the way of the train. It's not on the track or anything. It's just like in the station, but it's in the way.
He's
And
ruining
so-
the vibe.
Yeah.
It's ruining the vibe, and they want him out. But nobody can muster up the courage to like politely tell them to go away. So they just ask us to deal with it.
Yeah, so the Slowpoke, we have to catch it, and it is level 12. And so we want to get up to level 11, so that way we can rare candy up to level 12, so that we're an equal match. And that is because the way the catching system works in this game makes it such that if you are a lower level than the thing you're trying to catch, you are severely punished. And
It's
It's
so
really
bad.
bad.
Like,
It's
just put things in perspective. If Greta were to catch the Slowpoke at a lower level, I think it's like a 9% chance to catch the Slowpoke from full health.
It's
Whereas
really
if your
bad.
level is matching, it's around 54, 55%, I think.
yeah.
It's a drastic difference.
Yeah. And you know, of course, we could still just, since it's not guaranteed, we could just never catch it ever, I guess. But, hopefully that won't happen. But yeah, so it is
Candy.
a very complicated, there's like a giant table in the notes about like, alright, if you get a Wooloo and it's this level, here's what you need to do. But if you don't get Wooloo, here's what you need to do. But also, sometimes you need to do this other thing. And it's a little complicated, but lucky for us, we had 2 Wooloo there. So we're good. We're
Yeah,
totally good.
shout outs to Spider C, who did a lot of of the
Oh, yeah.
pre-Hop 2 routing for this category.
Yes.
Yeah, the nice thing about Greta having caught 2 Wooloo before this next route also is because there are certain variations of the route that, like, you catch things after Hop 2, you catch things before Hop 2, you KO something after Hop 2. But Sobble getting all that experience before Route 2 helps out with some of the fights here as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds that we see a zigzag-shaped friend to and from this route?
What's the spawn rate? Those are the odds.
I don't remember the spawn rate, but
I
it's
don't
pretty
know.
low.
Anyway, right here we just skipped the catching tutorial. You'd never know because we were so fast. Also, hello puppy.
First time I played this game, actually, because I like catching everything when I'm playing a new Pokemon game. I was like 2 hours in, and then... Sorry, what I'm trying to say is, before getting to Route 2, I caught like a Rookidee, a Wooloo, and all that. And then 2 hours into the game, I was like past the first gym, and it just suddenly dawned on me. I was like, huh, there was never a catching tutorial in this game. Oh well. And I just continued on with my life. Like, I never actually knew that. I unintentionally skipped it. So, cool feature, I won't lie, because they don't bother you with the tutorial if you already know how to do it, which is great.
Yeah. And like you can, when you first enter the center, you saw me do that. Hop was like, is this your first time in the center? And I said, of course not. And he was like, oh, okay. Anyway, bye. So that saves us time as well, skipping that tutorial where he shows us around.
Anyway, your zigzag friend shows up 2% of the time, then.
Ah, I see. Well, don't see because it didn't show up. Sad day.
There's still time.
Okay, there's 2 trainers on Route 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, that we fight, yeah.
Yeah, a really minor thing that you might have like glossed over is that Greta got seen by the first trainer to initiate the battle, but they ended up talking to youngster Benjamin over here. It seems like a fraction of a second, depending on how long it takes for you to be able to like walk to the trainer versus like be seen. I think that's something that Head Bob had cooked up a little earlier.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm like inconsistent with it. I need to probably like write down, like talk to this trainer.
I think there's like a total of like 6 or 7 where that's relevant through any percent, but this is the only case where you see it in this run.
Yeah, this fight is so annoying because the Blip Bug lowers my special attack, so then it takes a decade to KO this thing. It's really bad. But if you crit on turn 1, the Blip Bug, and you one-shot it, then you don't get your special attack lowered, and it's the greatest day of your life, even though it never happens. Oop, now I'm talking to him. I did that last time too. Alrighty. In a moment here, we're gonna fight against Hop again for our final time in this run. Very much not your final time if you do any percent. But by the end, we'll be at level 11. We can be on our way, happily knowing that we can candy up to 12. And it'll be great. I just need to not forget to candy. It's a little hard to remember sometimes. But while we're just going through cutscenes, now's a very good time. If there's anything that you would like to share with us, Grace?
Yes, of course. I would like to remind everyone why we're here. Lifeline for Linear is a mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC. From Wednesday, February 18th to Sunday, February 23rd, we're super excited to showcase 5 days of action-packed speedruns for her benefit. For the full schedule, type !schedule in the chat. And if you want to donate, type !donate in the chat. We are having an open bid war right now for naming the Cub Fu. There's a 12-character limit, so if you have any good ideas for a 12-character or less name for that Cub Fu, send them in with your donations.
Yes, Please, I want to see them. The power is in your hands. It can be mostly anything you want. Mostly. And it'll be funny, because we are going to use Kubfu. Once we get him, we're gonna use him, so...
Oh yeah.
You'll see it.
Little guy is so powerful.
Yeah, it completely destroyed the competitive scene forever.
Oh yeah.
Irreparably.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Alright, let's see. Don't do it. Oh, I was... Oh, okay.
Seems you really learned your type matchups. Look at you, Greta.
Oh no, he did the thing.
Yeah, so right here,
I had to.
if Hop chooses to use like his elemental move, then there's some extra dialogue that pops up. And if he uses I think it's Tackle on Scorbunny, then it doesn't pop up, so we save some time. But he likes using Ember because he's not nice.
Yeah, the other thing that can happen that we have not seen yet is critting your rival.
For X.
Say that when the fight's not over yet.
Listen, there's...
I crit!
Okay. Alright, listen, you wouldn't have one-shot the Rookity anyway, so this actually
No.
saves you time.
It does. It saved me a turn. So funny. Anyway, so that's what happens if you crit Hop. There's...
See, I manipulated the crit for your benefit.
I can't believe we manipped Max Dialogue Hop. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Sorry
something...
for laughing so loud. I'm sure I woke up at least half a dozen chatters with that one. My bad.
Yeah, something they added in, I think this was the first game to do it, as far as I'm aware, and it has continued on, I think, somewhat. Sometimes, you know, something will happen in a fight, maybe you'll crit or whatever, and then your opponent will have something to say about it. And usually it's just Hop and Leon, but in the DLC, they decided to carry that feature over, so I know if you crit the first fight against Mustard, who we'll be meeting soon, he will talk about your crit, and on at least one of the rival fights, Clara/Avery, depending on the version, they will also talk about your crit.
I think it's the first two fights.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird thing is that it's not every single fight. Like, Hop doesn't say it on every single fight, and neither do other people that you fight. It's only sometimes, so it keeps you on your toes, I guess.
Which is funny, because I think the one fight that Hop doesn't say anything if you crit him, he says something if he crits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Actually, now that I think about it, Greta, you said that this was the first game to do that. I know that in Gen 4 and Gen 5 you get like some dialogue if it's like the last Pokemon a boss sends out, or like first time you do damage to them and don't one-shot. Like I know Andon gets some dialogue like that. But I'm thinking, is this the first 3D game where they did that?
I think.
I cannot remember for X and Y or other.
I do also know this is actually relevant that you brought that up. Like doing, like, how do I word this? Hitting but not one-shotting, but they like comment on it.
Yeah.
That is also a thing in this run, and we try to avoid that happening.
Yeah, I usually get some flavor text like, "Ha! Is that all you got?"
I was just like, ha, that's it. That's all they say.
"Is that all you got? I'll show you my real power." Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, if you take damage on the first rival fight, either Avery or Clara, they'll mention something along the lines of like, hey, I've dealt the first damage
Yeah.
that you've taken on this island. Aha.
Alrighty. We are on our way to the wild area, which we're gonna leave pretty quickly, but what it is this game introduced like kind of like a testing grounds for an open world Pokemon game. So it's just a little section that is open world. And what they ended up doing is they made the entirety of the DLC, other than like you enter into a building, they made all of the outside areas be just like the wild area. So it's all open world. So it's pretty cool.
There's a bunch of like Pokemon that you can find, items to pick up, dens you can raid. We're not gonna be doing any of that.
Well, we'll be picking up items, that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. And the movement, I think is pretty fun. The movement throughout this series in the run.
Yeah, unfortunately
Because
for us...
we have a set route that goes through a set of places. That did not make any sense. But Greta's gonna be picking up a lot of items, and there are set route that she needs to follow, and I think it's super interesting movement.
Yeah, but unfortunately
Very
for
optimized.
us, we do not even remotely go far enough into the game, the main game, to get any sort of like movement speed buff. We don't get the ability to like teleport or the bike until pretty decently far. So we're running. That's all we got.
Yep. We are hoofing it.
Also right
every-
there, I want to mention, you saw Hop like run off into the sunset, except it's the dead of night right now, but imagine. He's gone forever, so bye Hop. Anyways, we're leaving.
Bye, Hop.
Bye, nice life.
Good cameo, Hop. Here's your paycheck. Now bye.
Alright, so we go back to the station, and this is where the DLC stuff begins. Here is that Slowpoke we were talking about.
It all
just a
starts with
moment.
that damn slope.
And here's Avery as well. So this is what you get for choosing Shield. You get Avery. He has a very big top hat, and he's an interesting guy. This game gave us version exclusive rivals for the DLC. So we get to fight Avery on Shield.
Avery, my believery.
Here's level 12 for Sobble with the rare candy that we picked up, so that catching the Slowpoke is manageable.
Yep.
And Greta did mention that they'll be picking up a TR to teach a very strong water move, but we are teaching Water Pulse here because it is 100% accurate and is fairly consistent for getting through the early parts of this run.
Yeah, the move we're picking up, while it is a strong move, it has a very big asterisk next to it. You'll see. Also, it broke up. This time.
Can you actually get a critical capture on this?
I don't know.
What are the odds of that? Chat, any mathematicians in chat want to calculate that out?
I've never seen it. Alright, but yeah,
One
that wasn't
day.
too bad. One breakout, we're fine.
Funny thing is, if you end up, you have to capture that Slowpoke. If you KO it, another one basically just like takes its place.
Is it like, do you know, is it actually different? Like the stats
I've
or
never
something?
done it. That's what I've heard.
Hmm. I have also not done that. Alrighty, so
Wait,
DLC
Greta,
starts
we're
now.
going to the Isle of Armor. Why did you click Crown Tundra?
This- Are we
So-
doing it?
we're taking a little bit of a detour here. We haven't mentioned the other half of the DLC is the Crown Tundra. We're
Your
visiting
timing
here.
on that was cinema. I just want to say that. Anyway, sorry. Please go on.
We're visiting the snowy wonderland here. For a very special reason. It's called I Like Pieces of Candy. And here's the deal. So There are many pieces of candy on the ground here, and they are experience candies that will raise our experience. And we're gonna pick up a bunch of them so that we can level up our Sobble so that we don't just get destroyed. And we're also going to get some to give to our Cupfu later so that we don't have to manually level it up to be able to win our fights. But the big issue here is that the vast majority of these candies on the ground are not guaranteed. So this is why I have a backup save. Because in order for this run to be possible, we need either a large experience candy for Cupfu or an extra large for Cupfu. And the extra large is only 5% to spawn in one singular spot. And the large, there are 2 spots that are 10% and 1 spot that's 15%. And those are all low numbers. So, we are going to be switching to the backup because my Sobble is not good enough. But also, I just want to show you right now, take a look at the level of this Copperosha in the top right.
Oh my god.
Do you think I can win?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Hear me out. Play rough miss into water pulse confusion. Hit self, hit self, hit self, hit self, hit self.
So true.
So,
Where there's a will, there's a way.
the thing about the Crown Tundra is that everything here is like post-game levels. All of it is level like 60 to like 80. And we cannot take that on. But lucky for us,
We should not be here. We should not
We
be
can-
here. But
we can lose
we are.
this fight and still be able to move forward. And that opens up a world of possibilities for this game that we are not fully delving into today, but it's very good. Meanwhile, the Isle of Armor, it actually scales to your level. Whether or not you've beaten the champion, it'll be lower or higher level. So that is good for us. Otherwise, we'd just absolutely lose, and the run would not exist.
If you played Scarlet and Violet, it's a similar thing to the teal mask having a flag for whether you've completed the main game or not.
But yeah, this area is always high level. There's not really a reason for me to check these, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Why are you going so close to the wall, sir? Okay.
I am thoroughly surprised you did not get an encounter with that man of swine.
Same. That was a close.
I'm a professional. But right
we
here,
are in
these
3
spots
M's. This is the
are
spot.
where the Dynite ore could spawn, and the Dynite ore, you can go into the cave thingy over there called the Max Layer and exchange those for an L candy. But again, it's 10% in those 2 spots. Honestly, I don't even want to look at this candy because I know I'm
it's
loading
gonna be
the
the thing.
backup. I don't want to look at it because if it is the XL, I'm gonna be really upset. So I'm just gonna not even look at it, okay guys? Let's pretend it's an extra small, alright? Oh no, extra small.
Oh no, extra small. Oh no.
Oh no. Unfortunate.
The other items that Greta picked up, there was a couple of M candies that they picked up. The first one that you pick up heading left from the station will always be there. It will always spawn as an M candy. The second one that Greta picked up is like a
Oh, we got the
15.
one we needed. Okay, let's go.
Yay, yippee!
Yay, yippee!
Yay!
The second M candy is in 59% to spawn, and then lower thereafter for the rest of the pickups. So I think it's got Hyper Beam, and that might be it.
Oh, great. Well, we just use that. So,
Yeah.
what we're doing here... Oh, that... Okay. What we're trying to do is... Oh, and now it's confused, too.
Oh no.
I think I should run. Or
This
try
is
to
how we
run.
can still win against the level 3 Amora.
What we're trying to do...
It's not the first time I see this happen either. This is.
We're
It's
trying to death warp. So we're gonna die, and then it'll take us back to the station so that we don't have to walk. The thing is, sometimes they just don't want to kill you. And
Sometimes
while I
if
would appreciate that normally, right now I don't appreciate it at all.
Yeah, some huge pacifist in here. Thank you, Tryhard.
Alrighty. Yeah, so now, magically, suddenly, our Sobble's like really, really good, and we have everything we need. Yay! It's crazy how that works. Something here. Use these. Alrighty. So yeah, we got 2 M's for our Sobble. That's gonna evolve us and make it so that we don't just horribly lose. We're actually gonna do pretty quick fights, at least for a little bit, because we'll be over leveled. All right, do that. Do that. All right, now we
And
can
now
go.
we go to the correct DLC.
But yeah, so for this backup, I have a large candy. Reason being, it's more likely that you're gonna get it, but also it is the 2 routes, whether you have L or XL, are actually quite different because the large candy gives you 10,000 experience, but the extra large candy gives you 30,000 experience. So with that, our Cubfu will learn Brick Break and just decimate everything. But with the L, we're lower level, we don't get Brick Break, so the fights are more difficult, but also more interesting, so we're going with that. Also, this is so funny. This guy right here that just ran away, he's like, I'm supposed to be joining the dojo here today, but there's a really scary person outside the door right now. I kind of don't want to go out. And that's when Avery comes in. And that guy runs away. And what's gonna end up happening is we take that random guy's place in the dojo. We're not even supposed to join, but we're taking his spot. Because he was too scared of Avery.
Yeah, dude
It's
just
amazing.
like runs off into the corner and just watches all of this unfold.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it's like a selective dojo, you know, everyone's trying to get in, they can't accept everyone. But they have
I
that
think it's
slot
like-
for this
I
guy,
think it's
and
like
you just take it.
invite only. Yeah, invite only. We just took that guy's spot. Banger theme, by the way.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah, so the difference between Clara and Avery, they're not too different, but Avery uses the psychic type and Clara uses poison types. And so Avery is just generally more difficult because psychic is powerful. And it's also the reason why we needed higher speed compared to if we were playing Sword, is because his Kadabra later is quite speedy, and if we want to have a safe marathon run and not lose the game, then we want to be fast.
Need a fast solver.
Exactly. You can, if you're doing PB attempts for this category, specifically for shield, you can definitely take lower speed, but then you are forced to get hit by Kadabra most of the time. And there's a community member named Iron Dre has made tables upon tables upon tables of like what to do if you are slower than Kadabra, and this is your HP, this is your special defense. There's a lot of calculations to do, and it does get kind of risky. So to be marathon safe, we will just simply outspeed the Kadabra, so just not get a chance to kill us.
And I'm one of those people, do not teleport on top of me, please, ever. Okay. I'm one of those people, if I'm speedrunning a game, and I scroll down, and I see, like, hello game, and I see, like, 15 pages of, like, tables, I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. So, it's nice to just not have to worry about it.
This is true.
I see you this time, Beniri. Oh, Diglett.
No, Alolan Diglett.
This is completely irrelevant to us, but hello.
This guy, I just want to say, this guy's eyes freak me out. Like, Why does he have Vivillion eyes anyway?
He just loves all of his 150 Alolan Diglett that he seems to have misplaced. It is 150, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. I don't know. That guy introduced Intimidate Incineroar into the game, so I don't like him. Anyways, here's Avery at the dojo, and that's Mustard's wife, whose name is Honey.
Very funny game.
I'll admit that
Go ahead.
I ran this game for like ages before I realized the play between Honey and Mustard. Anyway, continue, Greta.
Wait, before I forget, Amber, I actually looked this up. Apparently, you cannot get a critical capture if you have less than 30 Pokemon registered in your Pokédex. So you are never going to be able to critical capture that Slowpoke.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you do not need to have already caught the thing that you're trying to catch for critical capture.
Yeah, so
although-
we have made it to the dojo, and we're joining even though 2 seconds ago we didn't even know we were joining. And as our first test, I guess, we're gonna fight against the dojo master, who is named Mustard. He's standing ominously, not really, at the back. And it'll just be, we're just gonna spam water pulls. Nothing too crazy. Hopefully we don't crit, but we probably will now that I said that. Yeah, he's just a silly guy.
Silly old man.
Do we have time for a few donations?
Yes, we do.
We have had some names start to come in for our Cub Fu during this run. We have $10 from Satan herself. It says, "You knew I had to put LinearC as that Cub Fu name. You're doing amazing, Greta, and much love to everyone in and watching this marathon. Less than 3." And that went towards naming the Cub Fu LinearC. We also have $20 from New Amber saying, "Go Greta, go Greta, go Greta." By the way, my favorite little guy in this game is Gumi, :3. And that went towards naming the Cub Fu Candy.
Thank you both. And I agree on Gumi.
I would love to see what other names we have, or between those two, if you like either Candy or LinearC as the option. Whatever your choice is, make sure when you do !donate and click that link to donate that you put it towards that incentive. And in your message chat, I would love to hear what your favorite Pokemon is. Tell me about your favorite little guy. My favorite is Vulpix.
Oh my gosh. I think they might be the same
No
person,
way.
actually. Because
Y'all are
we both
kindred
have
spirits.
purple hair, and we both like Vulpix. That's amazing. Yeah, my favorite is Alolan Vulpix. I also love the Kanto Vulpix as well, because they're both perfect.
Before
I
this run, during setup, Greta pulled up their casual Swish save file, and their party was just full of the Vulpix line and Ponytail line.
I got the whole squad.
Speaking of the whole
Yeah.
squad,
The Slowpoke squad.
look at this whole squad of Slowpoke.
These are silly little guys too, actually. They're very silly.
They are
look
too
at them
silly.
go.
They're also
too silly
very
for their own good.
fast.
Nope.
Yeah, what's going on here is in the dojo we have, like I was mentioning at the top, we have 3 trials to face to see who is worthy of Cub Fu. And this is our first trial because the Slowpokes just stole Avery's uniform, so we have to go get it back. Also, we got our sick uniform here ourselves. We're gonna keep this on. There we go. Yeah, it's just slower to keep it on. Or it's slower to change it. Yeah. Words.
It's slower to
It's
change back
faster.
into your
Keep it on. Also, it's cool. So,
It really is.
Also, it's raining. Can't see how that happened.
Oh,
before Greta loaded up the game, they set their date and time to a specific day and time.
also, hold on. This is very important. 449 berries, please. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Yippee!
Okay.
No
Yeah.
more, no less. 449. Put them in the bag.
The time portion that they set didn't actually do anything in this run because Greta had to load a backup save. Basically, if we had a good Sobble, we would be able to run away from a Bouffalant.
Oh.
Get boofed.
we call this getting boofed.
He's a fast boy.
Bouffalant are very aggressive in this game. They
Was
see you
Sandy-
and then they
was
just
Sandy
chase
the
you
one
on
that made
site.
that- Was Sandy the one
Yeah.
that made that emote?
Oh yeah. But going back to the time, when the day rolls over, you can basically do a reset for things that spawn on the ground. They have a chance to respawn. And the date is important because it would not be raining here otherwise. And rain is important because Drizzile, being a water type, gets rain boosts water moves power by like 50%,
Yeah.
and we need that to get through these couple of Slowpoke.
Yeah, these
Three
slowpokes
Slowpoke
are
even.
beefy.
The devs were also very silly when they coded these Slowpoke. Not only are they fast on screen, but they're +6 in speed to start off the battle, so they are most assuredly faster than you at this point. And if for some reason you happen to lower their speed, each of them is holding a Salak berry, which when they dip below 25% health or something, it boosts their speed. So they are perma-fast.
It's a little bit overkill. Yeah, these, they just go on a cycle, in a circle, or circle-ish, oval, whatever. So we just stand where we know that they're gonna go. And right there as well, I taught that fabled move we were talking about, the TR I picked up off the ground. And that is Muddy Water. And Muddy Water is an interesting one because while it is 90 power, which is very strong, it is also 85% accurate, which is not that accurate. So that's the give and take. Muddy Water, it's a scary time. Not knowing for sure that you'll land your attack is deeply frightening.
It's simple. You just hit all of your Muddy Waters, and then you won't have any problems whatsoever.
85% of the time.
Exactly. That's Slowpoke number 3.
Yep.
I don't know where
Find the
everyone
universe.
else is. Our other classmates.
I'm gonna say something mean, but are they relevant like at any point? Anyway.
Not really.
Anyway, we're gonna be death warping again, except for this one, Greta swaps to ruler because, well, it dies faster.
Yeah. It's only level 5. Yeah, this is a repeated theme. We're gonna die a lot of times on purpose, because it's a big island, you know, and we don't have time to be running all around more than we already have to, so...
And like Greta mentioned earlier, we don't have the the flying taxi or the bike to help us move around.
We're on our own.
Wait, but we're not on our
Wait.
own. We've got some more little guys.
That's true. Yeah, right here we're gifted a new friend. It's not really relevant at all. We're gonna use Bulbasaur to Death Warp some. It did used to matter which of the two you picked, Bulbasaur or Squirtle, but only on Sword did it matter.
Mhm.
You would always pick Bulbasaur, and that it was to deal with the Clara fight later on, since she uses poison types and Bulbasaur is a poison type. But now it doesn't really matter, and it has never mattered on Shield. But I believe that Bulbasaur will die quicker. It's kind of morbid.
Yeah, I think
But-
on average it has like less defenses than Squirtle or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it doesn't really matter which one you take.
Yeah. I think it is worth mentioning that the game shoving two Kanto starters might be kind of random. You gotta remember, Charmander, well, the Charizard line was in the main game, and once they released the DLC, well, you know, compensation, I guess, and they included the other two Kanto starters. They even gave them Gigantamax forms too.
Yeah, isn't it
And they just
canon
gave you
that? Sorry,
That
Sorry,
Leon
isn't it
gets
canon that?
Charmander from here, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was Leon's first Pokemon.
Yeah, so now we are on our way to our second trial. Our second trial is called Go Pick Some Mushrooms Out of a Cave. We want to make some soup. And the mushrooms go in the soup. So we need mushrooms. That's
I
all.
love it when mushroom soup.
I
And you
love soup.
feel Dynamax energy welling up inside of you.
We're not there yet.
I mean, what if soup does that to me? What if I love soup so much I feel like, you know, I could take on anything.
That-
Filled with Dynamax
That's
energy.
good.
Shout
I'm
out to all the
happy for
soup
you.
maxers out there.
Yeah, where are the soup enjoyers in the chat? I'm feeling kind of lonely. Anyway,
Consider donating if you like soup. Let us know.
yeah. Kat, tell us your favorite soup in your messages.
And then you could name the cub fruit after the soup. Is this over the character limit? We name it like minestrone or something.
No, that tracks.
Chat, squish your favorite type of soup into enough characters to fit 12, and we
Yeah.
will name the Kubfu after a soup.
Italian wedding soup. Try to fit that into the character limit.
How would you shorten like clam chowder bread bowl?
I don't know.
CLM. No, I get it. Anyway.
Alright, we've made it to our mushrooms almost. They're right there. They're within our grasp. First, I'm gonna save just in case the mushrooms bite me. Just in case, you never know. Oh. Look who it is. That's silly. Anyways.
The way he holds. Is he holding his glasses or his hat while he's running? He looks so silly.
I don't know.
Never paid attention.
He's a goof.
But yeah, we save here for this fight, but also the mushrooms might have bitten me. It could have happened. This fight, it can be tricky. It's muddy water territory. So we could just miss infinitely. It could happen. But this fight, oh my gosh, this fight has put me through the ringer. In the past, when the Sprout was not as good, and when my Drizzile was really bad. This fight can be really tough, and it's because of this Kadabra. It hits really hard. A lot of times it's faster than you, you don't one-shot it. It's really scary.
Yeah, not to mention that, so Kadabra will always use Psybeam, Slowpoke will almost always use Confusion. Both of those moves can inflict confusion on you, and as you saw with the Amora from earlier, you have a chance to hit yourself in confusion, and that is bad. That's actually the reason why Greta picked up the Full Restore back in the Crown Tundra. Full Restore is an item that heals you fully, as well as gets rid of any status conditions. So pick that up for a little bit of safety.
And especially if I had been on Sword, that Full Restore is like guaranteed getting used because of poison. On here, it's not guaranteed that I'll need to use it, but it's very good to have with me.
Avery, teleport!
Yeah, the other thing with the rivals in the Isle of Armor is that they like to use Pokemon move and ability related puns. Oh, bonjour.
What the? I've
never seen a Chansey.
Bonjour!
Never seen that there. Okay, well, it's a good thing I decided to do this now. We're gonna go into the desert and pick up some items that we're gonna need later for Cupfu. Things are also higher level in here, so I can actually Death Warp with Drizzile instead of having to swap in something else. So it's kind of 2-for-1 deal here. That is so weird. I've never seen a Chansey there.
So bizarre. I wonder if it's the secret spawn in the tunnel. I don't even know if this game has secret spawns like that.
I don't know either.
I'm so Let's Go Cold.
I was gonna say, that's very Let's Go Cold.
Apparently I'm faster than you. And now it's confused.
I know. Oh my god, not again!
You know, if I had a nickel for every time Greta this run has confused a high-level Pokemon while attempting to Death Warp, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Maybe you should donate the nickels. How about that?
Oh, good point.
This run has everything. Max dialogue hop, confusion in every fight, boof. What else are we missing?
Yeah, so Water Pulse has a chance of confusion, as you have seen many a time, and Muddy Water has a chance of lowering accuracy for the opponent. We'll see if that happens.
Chat, it's time for soup.
Woohoo! I love soup! Yeah, so right here, actually, something very important happens. Avery also found some mushrooms, so he also passes the trial. But for the soup, he really wants us to use his mushrooms in the soup. And so that means we get to keep our mushrooms. And this is very important because these mushrooms are actually a consumable item in battle. And they are an Omni boost, other than our health. So they're really good. And we're gonna use our mushrooms in a moment to destroy him, so. I like how there's nothing in the bowls, by the way.
Maybe the soup was the friends we made along the way.
Maybe. Yeah. Momentarily, we're gonna face our third trial, our final trial, which is facing Avery, because the two of us were the only two that have made it this far in the trial system. And I want to let you know, after this fight is when we're going to be getting our Cubfu. So that's, you only have a little tiny bit of time left to get your nickname in for the Cubfu before it needs to be closed. So now's the time.
Get those names in.
Speaking of names for the Cubfu, do we have time for a donation?
Yes.
We have a donation of $17.60 from Dynam, who is putting it towards naming the Cubfu Just a Lil Guy. And it says, "Good luck, Greta. Pokemon number 176, Togetic, says good luck too."
Thank you.
You're awesome, Dynam. Thank you.
No, y'all are awesome.
So anyway, nicknames.
I have to do the fight first.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought it was before. I don't know why.
No, so we're gonna spoiler. I mean, hopefully we're gonna win the fight, and then we'll get our Cupfu for winning.
Chat, that means this is your last possible opportunity. Get those donations in and those bids to name the Cubfu. Exclamation point donate in the chat.
You've got like maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Get those names in. Or help out an existing name.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so like Greta said, I'm going to be setting up a couple of max mushrooms to get those Omni boosts. Not only will it help us get through the fight by KOing all of Avery's Pokemon, but they'll help us tank a couple of hits from this Ponyta as well.
See if I get confused. You know what? I'm gonna be safe.
That's fair.
Because even though I'm not confused, my health is a little sketch. Now I'm confused. God
Oh,
damn.
no, you're confused. God damn it.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, we're balling now.
Hell yeah.
I shouldn't have risked it, but here's the thing.
Let's go.
If I didn't do that, I had another risk anyway, so...
Use the meme cadaver.
We'll simply Dynamax and Max Geyser the Cadaver then.
Yeah, so in this game, the gimmick is become big. So I'm becoming big. And now my moves are stronger and I have more health.
Yeah, well, moves are stronger, but more importantly, they are perfectly accurate. Which means we don't gotta deal. Well, I mean, you can still hit yourself in confusion, even though you're big. But we don't have to deal with Muddy Water's 85% enemies.
Honestly, I might just have to. Should I just reset now? What do you
I think. Trying to look at the ranges here. Yeah, you definitely need to be Dynamax for this, Slowbro, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why we saved the game. You get extra time now.
Extra time for you to name Cupfu. So true.
You got an extra 3 minutes to get those names in.
But yeah, so the situation there, the reason why I full restored despite not being confused yet is because my health was low enough to where I was concerned. Maybe I didn't need to be concerned. But Avery's final mon, Slowbro, has an ability called Quick Draw, where it's a 30% chance that it's automatically going to go first, no matter what. So if I was that health and it Quick Drawed, and it hit me with a strong enough move, and I think it would poison me too, then I could have just died there anyway. So that's why this fight is a little scary, but that's okay.
Yeah, Maxos won't kill you, I don't think, but I think it does drop your special defense. Forget how Max moves work. I never really paid attention to Dynamax class.
Also worth mentioning, since Avery's bringing it up right now. He's cheating. He somehow find a way to set up Psychic Terrain before the battle starts. That's why he hit so hard. I
He is very mean. Psychic drains, boost the power of psychic moves.
Am I confused? I haven't been looking, I'll be honest.
You are not confused.
You're not confused.
Okay. But yeah, this is the thing, like, I still have to hit a muddy water here. So then I was low, I could have missed muddy water, got me even lower. Then I could have gotten hit with quick draw. It was just unfortunate situation.
It can get real bad. In summary, it can go so wrong in so many.
Yeah, if you get confused on the wrong turn, it really throws off the tempo of the fight. I forget if we mentioned this already, but so in Sword, you have the option to not Dynamax on this fight. And the reason it only works on Sword is because of the next Pokemon that Avery brings out, which is a Swoobat. And you're thinking like, oh, we're Dynamax, we can just, and we already at +2, we can KO the Swoobat just fine. Swoobat has an ability called Unaware, where it might have been, is it Unaware or is it Oblivious? I forget which one it is. But it basically ignores stat changes. Unaware, thanks. So we need the rain that gets set up from the previous Max Geyser in order to get enough power to KO it with one shot.
Okay. It did not quick draw. Luckily for us, the quick draw, if it did happen, it would show up like before all of this animation, so that we don't have to sit in agony waiting to find out. So we're good now.
Very mean fight. Every turn counts. Lucky. And
Yeah.
there's a very heavy RNG in them. Yeah.
Alright.
Something happened in during Gen 8's development where they were like, what if we just make items, or what if we just make abilities that are just items? So Withdraw is literally shut down. And Galarian Manitan has a built-in choice band. But anyway, sorry Gret, I cut you off.
Did you? I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely did. You're right about to say something, yes.
It was, I don't know what it was, but we made it. Now's the time for Cubfu nickname to be closed. We're gonna get it in just a second. I'm gonna make sure to turn on nicknames, because if I don't, we'd have to run all the way back to Whitehurst, which is the town we started in the game at. So.
And then don't forget to save also for Cubfu stats.
Yes. So our Cubfu, the stats do matter. Particularly the nature of it matters. But also if our speed isn't good enough, it is going to cause a very big issue. So we might have to nickname it multiple times if it's not good enough the first time.
Do you have
Before
a
we
USB
name that-
keyboard? Oh, sorry.
Before we name that Cubfu, we do have one more donation that went towards that. From Blackheart Wings, $5, that says, I heard we like soup, towards naming it Chicken Noodle. And also, we have passed $1.2 thousand for LinearC. We are at $1,204, chat. You're doing incredibly amazingly. Thank you so much for all of your generosity.
That is awesome. Thank you, chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am very glad to be a part of this and get to help. It's a good cause. Linear is like the nicest person of all time. And it's just so nice knowing, like, for one, the power that we have, like, as a community to be able to lift each other up and help when others need it. Also, like, knowing, like, I don't know, what if something happened to me at some point? Like, knowing that people are around who just care so much and just really want to help is just, it's awesome. So, all right, what are we nicknaming Cubfu?
We are going to be nicknaming Cubfu Candy.
Is it capital C?
Capital C, yes.
Alrighty.
Candy.
Perfect. Thank you for donating for that. Alrighty.
Hopefully that is the only time we have to name. we have to name them.
Yeah, if we have to reset because the cup is bad, we get to type it in again. Yippee.
Yep. I was just gonna say, hopefully, Greta, I don't know if you have a cheap $5 USB
And plus
keyboard you can
speed.
just plug into your Switch.
Let's do candy first. Plus speed. I'm good. Don't learn all these. Give it the protein. May as well put this on now. I don't see why not. And be on our way. Alright. Yeah, so lucky for us, we're actually plus speed. If we had
Hell
been
yeah.
minus attack or minus speed, that would be bad news for us. But fixable, because there are things we can pick up in this game called mints that will change our nature to be, well, in this case, there's one off over to the left, kind of near the forest, that would make us fully neutral. So nothing is being boosted or lowered. There's another. Oh my gosh. No.
If I had a nickel for every time Greta has gotten boofed this run, I would have 2 nickels.
Run away, run away. But yeah, the mint would make us neutral. But even still, we have to look at what our speed stat is. Luckily there, we have plenty speed, we're all good. That really matters a lot for the final fight we'll be doing. Right now, we're gonna go on a little journey, because the next thing in our quest is to become best friends with our Kubfu. And what that means is raising our friendship a bunch. And so they put in these little areas that we can go to with beautiful scenery to look at together that will raise our friendship. So we're going on a journey together to go to all those different places. So we're on the road. Hopefully there are no more big ones, please.
If
There's
it
so
can
much
happen
fun.
twice, it can happen. It can happen 3
It
times.
can.
One important thing to note is that we had mentioned earlier that there is an extra large candy variant of this route. For the large candy, which Greta is using in this run, you have to visit 3 of these like sort of vista areas to get enough friendship. In addition to the XL candy granting an absurd amount of experience to Kubfu, letting it just like annihilate everything in its path, you also get a lot of friendship from those level ups, so you actually only have to do 2 out of the 3 vistas instead of having to run like super far,
Yeah.
which saves like a lot of time.
A lot of time. So you're way higher level. So you have Brick Break, stronger move, and you're just stronger in general. And you don't have to go all the way to the 3rd spot. So yeah, the XL getting that saves you like 2 or 3 minutes off of the L. And it's just really, really good. But again, it's 5%. So not the most realistic thing. I don't think I need this, but I'm gonna get it anyway. This will raise my speed. Oh my gosh, Kubfu jump scare. That always happens. At this point, they start following behind you, and I see it in the grass, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to encounter something. It's just the Kubfu, it's okay.
It's just candy. It'll get.
Yeah, candy.
Yeah, the funny thing is when you're doing like a different category and you like go to the Crown Tundra and you see just this giant Suicune like roaming behind you.
Alright. Gonna head back. Hello, Skarmory. Gonna head back through that cave we were at earlier. More walking to do. Go us. So if you have anything to talk to us about, Grace.
Yes. I would like to tell chat a little bit about LinearC. LinearC has been gaming her entire life since she was a kid and received her first gaming console, a gift meant for Christmas, but was found early by Linear herself. In 2015, Linear discovered Games Done Quick, which then led her to the Frame Fatales and Lady Arcaders communities. She began volunteering in various roles from hosting to community moderation and soon became a lead for Lady Arcaders and a runner. Linear loves helping and uplifting others in her community and helping raise money for charities. If you want to know more about how to help LinearC directly, you can type !LFL in the chat.
Meanwhile, we are enjoying getting sand in our eyes.
Sand.
So,
Look at all that sand. He's so happy to
having
see
fun.
all that sand.
let's see, where exactly is the Mercury?
That should be forward and to the left.
Did I see another Chansey?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what that's about. Teach this. That's already on.
And the most important part about this menu, because we're going to be doing another Death Warp swipe here, we do not want to Death Warp with Kubfu, because if Kubfu faints, that lowers friendship, and we don't want that. It's
Yeah,
very
what would
important to pull out. another
Is
Pokemon.
yeah, right now we're at the friendship we need, yay. But if we death warped with the Kubfu, we would go back and we'd be like, Mustard, look, we did it! We got maximum friendship, go us! And then he'd be like, actually, you don't have maximum friendship.
Nah, no, I didn't. Nuh-uh.
What you would have to do is open up Pokemon Camp and play with the Kubfu.
It's definitely never happened in a run before.
It hasn't happened to me.
It's like wave around a little like feather toy and tickle your Kubfu's nose.
Yeah.
I just
yeah,
love
so-
how Kupfu goes bear armor. It's like yeah, little guy, you are the armor. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, the fabled Tower of Two Fists, or Towers of Two Fists, are... Now it's time. That's what the category's called. We're doing it. So, our final mission here with our Kubfu is to face one of the two towers and get through basically like a gauntlet of fights and fight Mustard at the end. And after that, we'll be able to evolve our Kubfu into Urshifu, and we'll get Urshifu. That's that's what the category's called.
And terrorize VGC. Oh, do I hear three? Do I hear three?
No, that's the static one. That one is always
okay.
there. And it does like a little animation before running after you, so you have time to get away from it, thankfully.
Can't
Sorry
believe
for
you would tease
praying.
chat with the third booth.
No, I wasn't teasing chat. I was just praying on Greta's downfall. But anyways,
Wow. We're heading through this forest one last time, heading over to the Tower of Darkness. The two towers are Tower of Darkness and Tower of Waters, and we are a fighting type. And so, you know, if you've learned your type matchups, we want to go over to the Dark Tower because we will be super effective. And that way, the fights are not that awful.
Greta had gone the XL candy. They would have had the options to go to either tower. Going to the Tower of Waters is a little bit of a shorter distance, but the fights can get a little annoying there. So it's just kind of pick your poison on when you get the XL candy.
We're almost there. But yeah, so the strat that we are going to be employing, since we don't get Brick Break, which if we did, literally, we would just click Brick Break until, like, we win, basically. It's very good. But for us, we don't have that. So what we're going to be doing is basically a combination of using Rock Smash and then getting to low health and then using Endure, which will let us survive at 1 HP if we get hit. And then after that, using the move Reversal, which we picked up in the desert. And Reversal is very special in that the lower health you are, the more damage it does. So when combined with Endure, if you're at 1 health, then Reversal has a maximum of 200 power, which is very, very strong. So we're gonna need that. And we also have the Rocky Helmet that we got in the desert as well. And what that does is, when we get hit by an opponent with a contact move, like right there, the opponent will take damage from our helmet. So that just worked out on the Zorua, where we didn't one-shot it, but it died from the helmet. And that's also going to be important for the final fight as well, for a different reason. Let's save, just in case.
Yeah, even though our Kubfu is like level 21 at this point, we just leveled up. The fights in this tower range basically from, I think, like level 25, 26 all the way up to 30 at the end. So having that Endure Reversal combo would be very important to last through the rest of this.
Yeah, it's kind of a complicated like strategy setup with all these different moving parts, but literally you don't do any of this in the extra large candy route. And so I think it's definitely more interesting, in my opinion, to do this strategy.
Yeah, you actually have to do math. Imagine doing math in your Pokemon speedrun. Who would ever do that?
As if we weren't doing like tables after tables of if statements in our heads during the speedruns.
Listen.
Yeah, no, I agree with Greta though. I do think it's pretty cool. I mean, yes, going fast is cool and breaking through the entire game by clicking one move, it can also be fun. But this is a good mixture of interesting and fun. You do reversal strats, dropping to low HP, which is kind of risky, but you know, high risk, high reward. And just the added utility of Rocky Helmet is just very entertaining to watch, in my opinion.
I'm gonna save again because I'm scared.
I believe this Proc Rock always outspeeds you, right, Greta?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a speedy boy, so we do not want to be low health, and you might think, oh, just endure then. But the thing is, it has Sand Tomb, which will do sand damage to me, even if I endure, so I'll just die.
Yeah, it's like the ground type of fire spin, basically.
Yeah, so instead there, we heal up a little bit. He hits me, I'm low health, so I reversal, and it's strong enough to take it out. Now, we move on to the final fight of the run. It's almost over. It's been fun. I could get owned here, because of course I could.
You will
So
simply
heal
be a
all the way
gamer.
And then, we're gonna save.
You'll be fine.
We'll see. So, the situation here, this is a Kubfu, like, mirror fight. So it's Kubfu against Kubfu. Well, Candy against Kubfu. So what we're gonna do, we still have one of our max mushrooms left that we did not use on the Avery fight. So we're gonna use that here. And then, after that, we're gonna endure. So he's gonna hit us once, we're gonna endure, he's gonna hit us again, that's gonna take us down to 1 health. We have to be at 1 health to reversal and have it kill. And the thing as well is we have the Rocky helmet, because this thing has a focus sash, so we would not be able to one-shot it otherwise because it would live on 1 from the focus sash. But the Rocky helmet gets rid of that. But if he doesn't hit me here... Okay, we're good.
Okay.
And just reversal, and we win. Yeah, so on that turn where we endure, it's possible that he uses focus energy, which will not hit me, it's on attack. And then that's bad news, because endure works similarly to how protect works, where if you know how that works, if you try to just use it over and over and over, it becomes less and less likely to work each time. So it's dangerous business just trying to endure again. So what I would have to do is heal back to full with the Moo Moo milk that I picked up earlier, and then just like try again and hope that he actually hits me, which is really scary. But we're good. And so now all that's left is to evolve Candy into Candy but bigger, called Urshifu.
And terrorize VGC.
Yeah.
Chat, did you know that if you put a standing person emoji in chat, you will see the little guy, Cubfu?
Yeah, so we show Cubfu the Scroll of Darkness to evolve it into Single Strike Urshifu, fighting Dark type Urshifu.
So
The other one is Water type. So that's what we're gonna do. And after that, there will be a little cutscene, and then Mustard's gonna talk, and he's gonna be like, alright, time for us to head back, whatever. And there's gonna be a fade to black, and that is when time will be called. So I will let you know once that happens. First, we gotta try not to teach Wicked Blow on accident, because it's slow. There we go. And we have done it. Here's Urshifu.
Bear Dark.
Yes. And so yeah, that's the run. Time will be in a second, like I said. Let's head back. He's gonna say a little thing. And time is on the fade to black right here. And I don't know exactly what it is. And time.
GG Greta.
GG's.
Yay! Now we have our Urshifu. We flex
Miss
on
Candy.
everyone. Yeah.
We got him.
But yeah, that was Tower of Two Fists. Get Urshifu. Here's Urshifu in his glory. It's sad, you know, we don't get to like actually use him for anything, but he's cool. And he's named Candy. It's a little misleading, maybe. But yeah, just
Candy the Bear Dark.
yeah.
Love him.
This was very fun. It was an interesting run. Some stuff went wrong, but we made it through. And you know that sometimes in life stuff goes wrong, but we still make it through anyway. So yeah, just thanks so much for having me.
Where can the people find you, Greta?
Yeah, so I am just GretaIceVixen in all the places where people are. I'm probably there, and that's the name. So I stream on Twitch. I do a lot of Swish speedruns, Sword and Shield. Sometimes this, sometimes the sister category to this run called Don't Get Urshifu, where you throw Cubfu out the window basically and abandon it forever. And still do the tower, but using Drizzile instead. It's pretty funny. And yeah, just if you wanna come hang out sometime, that's where you can find me. And I'll also be running in Frost Fatales, which Linear is also running in. Very exciting, so tune in for all of that next month. And yeah, just thanks so much for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you so much for that incredible run. And thank you to everyone for all of your generosity today. I will be back for a sign off in just a moment.